The idea to go with team-ups this season grew out of last season. That season progressed where, in the end, Batman became a team player with John Jones' Manhunter from Mars. And at the very last shot, or just about the last shot of that two-parter, he was brought to the Watchtower, and John Jones introduced him to these 5 other superheroes. Those are the superheroes that we've used this season for the team-ups.
Alan wanted to grow the Batman. I mean, he started off in basically his first year. Bruce Wayne was learning how to do it at that point. And each succeeding season, he grew a little bit more and more. And now he's become a team member. He's bringing in partners from who are other superheroes to work with him.
Naturally, the dynamic of the series changed somewhat because, you know, Batman had always been sort of alone in his little world of Gotham. So we knew that bringing in other heroes was going to sort of drastically change the dynamic of the series. But we thought it was the only interesting thing to explore with Batman at this point was how he would work with other people that were his equal in one way or another.
So why the sudden interest in Superman and Black Mask? Getting tired of me?
He's working with Luthor.
Luthor?
The tone for the new season was set with that first episode with Batman and Superman teaming up together. That was kind of a Brave and the Bold take towards this latest season. Brave and the Bold was a classic comic book where in every issue Batman would team up with a cool character from the DC universe. So you had Hawkman one episode, Green Lantern. There's always some new hero coming along.
As long as there have been superheroes, there has been the desire of fans to see those heroes teamed up with other heroes. The superhero team-up is a classic. If you've got one hero who's popular, the comic book will sell even better if you've got another superhero in. And if you've got a whole gang of superheroes in, you've got the best-selling book of all time, which has been repeated over and over and over, as justified by the early days with Justice Society right up to the present day with DC's best-selling title, Justice League of America.
I think what's cool about seeing heroes team up is just to see them, you know, how they're going to interact with each other and deal with one another's personalities and how are their powers going to work together. Of course, the most classic example of that would be Batman teaming up with Superman.
The Justice League's about to have its first official meeting. I heard the Martian invited you, but you declined.
I prefer to work alone.
So did I, once. But I found out you never know when you might need a friend.
Superman and Batman are difficult to work together. One is like a god and the other is immortal, and one's flying around and the other at best swings through the air, and they really don't belong together at all. But somehow people have responded to this relationship between them for years and years and years, and it continues going on.
There's always been that bond between Superman and Batman, and to some degree it isn't entirely logical that they would be friends. Originally, they teamed up under the title World's Finest, which is a pretty appropriate title for a book that contains the world's best-selling superheroes. And their adventures continued for a number of decades until they suspended publication around the 80s. And then when they relaunched the book, it was known as Superman Batman.
In general, the Superman-Batman team-up is a team-up of light and dark. Superman is a guy who was given this enormous gift, and he wants to help people, he wants to share it. And Batman is an embittered vigilante. So when you combine those two personalities, there's a lot of opportunity for writing interesting character stuff.
This one fires yellow powder.
Well, what gives, partner?
You've prepared weapons to use against us.
Only as a precautionary measure.
Blame it on me, guys. I went temporarily renegade the last time we worked together. This might have saved a lot of time and trouble.
I think in general a team-up offers an opportunity for a writer to explore the character. Inevitably, when you have a team-up, there's conflict between the two heroes. So that whenever you have conflict, that helps you show more and more who the hero is. And it gives you deeper insight into the hero and also the guest star.
A lot of these relationships Batman has with the other Justice League characters is an edgy one. But when I was a kid, of course, everybody was a pal to each other. And when you read World's Finest, I mean, Superman and Batman were like brothers. And the Brave and the Bold, it seems to me that there wasn't that much conflict going on there. But nowadays, they like to see superheroes get into it with each other.
So you have to create, you know, internal strife between the characters. Maybe there are two heroes who just don't like each other and who don't get along. So the problem is if they're paired up to take down a villain, they don't want to do it or they're not cooperating. They're a bigger threat to each other than the villain is.
We always tried to keep a sort of healthy tension between the heroes coming into Batman's world, and there's always a little bit of discomfort on Batman's part that there's sort of not enough room for both of us in this town.
Batman's going to be working with these new people in his world. And so therefore, what are the conflicts with these characters to make it interesting? What's Hawkman's, personality compared to Batman? How does he operate? How does he do things?
No more Dark Knights for you, Dark Knight.
It's always a concern with these team-ups that Batman will end up becoming a bit secondary in the story. In some ways, we are introducing these heroes to our audience, maybe for some of them for the first time, but we always have to go back and make sure we maintain Batman as being the dominant character. It's his show.
The way we kind of brought all these villains and characters together just came out of the story that was presented, but there was definitely considerations on the writer's behalf on giving a good reason as to why the heroes were going to team up.
The heroes are not interchangeable. You have to find something unique about them and make the story pertain to that uniqueness in each case. For example, at the Green Lantern episode, he loses the ring. A story like that wouldn't be relevant to Green Arrow. I mean, he'd just get another bow and quiver.
This wall doesn't belong here.
Allow me. Concentrated acid.
Phosphorus would have been faster.
It's fun to see Batman in different situations where his genius brain and merely human brawn stack up perfectly against a more superpowered hero, and usually it's Batman who's the deciding factor whether they win or not.
Batman is sort of even though he's a loner, he's sort of a natural leader because he knows everything. And everybody catches on that this guy's brain is working in areas they've never dealt with before. And so for our Batman, it was just a natural progression that he dominated other characters because of his detective sensibilities. He's just a brilliant man.
All right, here's where we split up. If we're gonna get back your powers, we have to capture each android intact. We'll distract them while you attack. You'll only get one shot, so make it count.
After 4 seasons of really developing our Batman character, to me this season was really kind of the season where Batman became the full character of Batman and really joined the full world of the superheroes. And so I think the thing I'm most happy about is that we actually were able to accomplish what we really set out to accomplish from the very beginning.
Season 5 of the Batman was just a natural evolution of the series to the next level. We saw Batman working on his own as a loner in the first few seasons, and then as time went on, we introduced Batgirl and then Robin, and this was just the next stage, is to have him interact with other great DC characters.
I would also say that one of the most satisfying things was finally bringing Superman into the series, because it's something we just always dreamed of doing from the beginning.
I'm happy with the season. I thought it ends on a high note, and a lot of great work was done by a lot of wonderful writers and artists. We had terrific recordings, and it's one of the happier seasons of my career.